I told the American negotiators yesterday that you have two options for us, war or diplomacy. Our choice is diplomacy, but we are prepared for both options even more than before. If America launches an attack against us, we have no ability to attack its territory. We will attack the American bases located in the region, and this will bring the entire region into war. If you make one wrong move, we will definitely take 3,000 or 4,000 casualties from you. That's what the Iranians are saying in return. If you do even a symbolic quote-unquote attack against us, we will take out 3,000 to 4,000 soldiers. We announced we will strike any company or base with America's name on it. Seems like maybe we shouldn't test them, right? Folks, it looks like the final screws are going into place regarding Trump's plan in Iran. I know he's doing this whole thing saying like, oh, you know, we want diplomacy and it's really Netanyahu and Israel that wants the war. Why on earth then are we sending all of these military assets all across the Middle East? What? Tell me, why is that? It doesn't make a lot of sense to me unless, of course, they are pursuing the path of war, which it looks like, according to what I'm going to show you, is exactly what's happening. This is what Trump said just yesterday. We are not hurried regarding Iran. Take a listen.
Can be reached. Well, you have to get in position. We have plenty of time. If you remember Venezuela, we waited around for a while, and we're in no rush. We have, very good talks going with Iran. We have very good talks going with Russia and Ukraine.
Trump saying we're in no rush. It's just like Venezuela, where they kidnapped the president, right? Also worth noting, today is the Super Bowl, and instead of the, as planned, F-22s, which were supposed to be doing some flyover of the football stadium where the Super Bowl is being held, we have this, F-22s pulled from the Super Bowl flyover due to operational assignments. What on earth could the operational assignment be that these F-22s are not going to be at Trump's big old Super Bowl? I think we all know. I think they are much more vital for his and Netanyahu's plans in the Middle East, okay? Now let's take a 30,000-foot look at what is actually been prepared for Iran. U.S. forces are repositioning fast. The U.S. has stepped up military positioning around Iran, allowing for rapid action. Heavy airlift into the region. Roughly 112. I've seen reports that it's now 115 since the time this post was made. It's up to 115 transport jets, which are already in or heading to the Middle East, with 17, 18 still en route, far beyond the normal levels. Okay, I mean, this is crazy how many of these transport jets, C-17s, Globemasters, etc., that they have sent to the region. Carrier and support forces are active. The USS Abraham Lincoln is operating in the Arabian Sea near Iran, while refueling command and long-range assets are being staged across the region and Indian Ocean. Also, nuclear monitoring flight detected. A U.S. aircraft used to detect nuclear activity flew over the Mediterranean, and Trump envoys visited the carrier alongside CENTCOM's commander, Bradley Cooper. That's his name, okay? So you got all this going on. Also, not mentioned in this post, as I have brought up many times, is we have the USS George H.W. Bush, which is also en route to the region. So this post says, are strikes on Iran imminent? A 48-hour breakdown of military activity. I would say yes, they are imminent. How imminent? Well, I think they're probably going to wait until that USS George H.W. Bush and the strike group get there, which I couldn't tell you how long that's going to take. When the Abraham Lincoln strike group was en route, you could go on news sites, and you could see they had a prediction like, oh, it's going to get there in 7 days, 8 days, if there's weather issues, right? The USS George H.W. Bush, we don't know. We don't know how long that's going to take to get there. I tried to look it up. Some reports say days, maybe weeks. And the worst case scenario, maybe if it stops along the way a lot, months. I'm like, well, that's not very helpful. I personally think it'll probably be about maybe about 2 weeks before we see it arrive. So take that into account as we watch these events unfold, okay? Now, we covered this 115 cargo flights into the region. We also have this. As I've told you, there are Delta Force associated assets which are in Azerbaijan. Now we have this. U.S. deployed a Lockheed Martin MC-130J Commando 2, positioning U.S. Special Forces, including Delta Force, to Turkmenistan, in an area located near the northeastern border of Iran. So are they going to try some raid? Are they going to try to go into the nuclear sites, do a raid? Are they going to raid some leaders of... I mean, I don't even know what the idea here is, but I guess that's what we can assume. We also have B-52 heavy bombers. This was the last big piece of the puzzle from the U.S. Air Force fleet that had not arrived, that we are now seeing in large numbers at Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. So that is really big. BBC confirmed 3 E-11A BACN British Air Force Air Command aircraft are stationed at the Hania Air Base in Crete, and all 3 are directed towards the Middle East against Iran. One of those aircraft landed at the Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia as well. Countries neighboring Iran's state, they will not allow their airspace to be used against Iran, but the facts indicate otherwise. While some are trying to negotiate, the British military is also striving to ensure a full presence in the region to support the USA and Israel. Okay, so this kind of goes over all the same points. The main point that is most important is that there has been a large-scale deployment of THAAD and Patriot air defense systems to cover all of the U.S. military bases in the region, at least to the best of their ability. And it seems as though the deployment of these THAAD systems and Patriot systems has finally come to a close. It has been finalized. The deployment of all these AD systems across 20 bases in the Middle East. That's according to Channel 14. They have them in Jordan, Kuwait, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, Iraq, and Israel. So they have deployed these air defense systems absolutely everywhere. All right. Now, as for the Iranians, they are witnessing all of this. They have no misconceptions about what the United States and Israel are planning. They said, Foreign Minister of Iran, Arakchi, he said many times, he gave a statement to the parliament in Iran. He gave several interviews. He said, look, we know what's happening here. We went through the routine steps, acting like these are serious negotiations. But we know in all likelihood what is coming. We know what the plans are. And this is what he had to say today. The possibility of war is always present, and we are prepared for it. And this preparation is for the sake of solutions without war occurring. I told the American negotiators yesterday that you have 2 options for us, war or diplomacy. Our choice is diplomacy, but we are prepared for both options even more than before. We hope that America will choose diplomacy. If America launches an attack against us, we have no ability to attack its territory. We will attack the American bases located in the region, and this will bring the entire region into war. We are not attacking neighboring countries, but rather American bases. There's a big difference. So there you go. They will attack American bases in the region. How many U.S. troops do we have at these American bases in the region? If you listen to Secretary of State Marco Rubio, about 30 to 40,000 American troops at these bases. And that's who's going to get targeted. All right? That's who's going to get targeted. How's it going to go down? Well, one Iranian member of parliament said this in a statement on Iranian television last night. Trump came through one of the countries and he used them as an intermediary to say, well, let me strike 2 locations in Iran. That's what Trump said. You should give a response to, and then it's over. So apparently Trump said, let's strike 2 locations in Iran. We'll make it totally symbolic. You guys will respond with something symbolic on one of our U.S. air bases, like after the 12-day war, and then it's all over. If you make one wrong move, we will definitely take 3,000 or 4,000 casualties from you. That's what the Iranians are saying in return. no symbolic strikes. If you do even a symbolic quote unquote attack against us, any attack on our soil, we will take out 3,000 to 4,000 soldiers. Okay? We took the message seriously. I might be criticized later for this, but we told our foreign minister to call his counterpart in the region. We announced we will strike any company or base with America's name on it. It seems like they're not fucking around. It seems like maybe we shouldn't test them, right? It seems like this is a risky game, and who is at the most risk? American soldiers in the region. All the American soldiers that people like Trump and Marco Rubio and all of the, top level Pentagon brass, they claim to care so much about, but now they're going to put all of their lives at risk for what? For war against Iran, to get another Rothschild bank in a country that doesn't have one, to get another war for Netanyahu. Eventually, Tehran's response plan in case of an American attack. So this is what could go down. Massive missile drone strikes on American bases in the Middle East. Cyber attacks on all available targets will begin. The Iranian fleet using a large number of small boats with missiles and torpedoes attack American ships. I think that would probably, well, who knows? I was going to say, I think they'd probably hold that off until maybe there's a request to negotiate or ceasefire. I don't know, but like maybe they just do it all at once. It could be. A blockade of the Strait of Hormuz is introduced. This would be nuclear. Iran doesn't even need a nuclear bomb. If they just did all of this at once, like that's absolutely nuclear response. Iran prevents the passage of American, British, French, and German ships. Iranian proxies across the Middle East begin active operations. I mean, all of that at once would literally, it would freeze everything. It would freeze everything. They have the capacity to do it. It'd be very simple. How about we don't play this game of, are they going to do it? How about we don't play this game of, are they going to do it? Because I don't think it's going to end well. Fars news agency publishes a photo of the Fifth Fleet of the U.S. Navy in Bahrain without a caption hinting at a preemptive or a retaliatory strike in a warlike situation with the United States. Recent satellite images from China's Mizar vision system show the U.S. Muafag al-Salti Air Base in Jordan. The images reveal the new deployment area for relocated Patriot air defense systems, along with newly deployed EA-18G electronic warfare aircrafts, 18G aircraft. Okay, so you see the Chinese are deploying all of these satellites all over the place, getting all these images. The Iranians know where everything is stored, everything is held, everything is deployed down to, the square inch at this point. I've seen too many of those satellite images to count from the Chinese. And here's what we have from Yediot Aronot, Hebrew newspaper. Over the past 2 years, Iran has operated a vast network to recruit Israeli citizens for sabotage missions and information gathering. The crime that appears in most indictments is contact with foreign agents. There are several cases of reserve soldiers or officers in active service. There is a soldier in the Iron Dome system who was asked to photograph the system. It is very difficult to identify these Iranian spies. They could be religious students from Beit Shemesh, young people from East Jerusalem, or new immigrants from Azerbaijan. So this is hinting at the fact that Iran has many, active agents, sleeper cells within the Mossad and within the IDF. And there could be an activation of those agents if the full, activation is unleashed against the United States and Israel. Before you leave, I want to say thank you for the support, because after 2 years of being banned, we are finally back home on YouTube. So be sure to subscribe to our channel and also join as a member on our channel using the link at the top of the description. I rely on the generous support of viewers like yourself to get the truth out to as many people as possible. You can also support the show on Locals or GiveSendGo. The mainstream media and the powers that be are never going to stop attacking us for bringing the truth to as many people as we do. Thank you so much for your support.